Have you ever been in this situation? You open your banking app and suddenly your money is gone much faster than you expected. If the answer is yes, you might be making a financial mistake that most people don't even realise, relying exclusively on your debit card. We always hear that paying with a debit card is safer. After all, you're only spending what you have, right? But does that mean you're making the best financial decision? What no one tells you is that this choice could be costing you way more than you think. Today, I'll show you the financial mistake that might be draining your money without you noticing, and more importantly, how you can fix it right now. Because when it comes to money, every decision matters, and the way you pay for your purchases can be the difference between a financially secure future or a lifetime of missed opportunities and limitations. The idea that paying with a debit card is the safest option makes sense at first glance. After all, if you only spend what you have, you won't risk going into debt, right? But what no one tells you is that by relying only on debit, you might be limiting your financial growth without even realizing it. Imagine this. You want to finance a car, but the bank won't approve your request because you don't have enough credit history. This happens because using only a debit card doesn't help you build a financial track record. And without a credit history, banks can't assess whether you're a reliable borrower. Without credit, you miss out on opportunities. And we're not just talking about loans or better credit cards, but even basic services like renting an apartment or signing up for certain plans. Now, let's talk about security. Did you know that if a fraudster steals your debit card information, they can withdraw money directly from your account? And if that happens, it could take days or even weeks for the bank to refund you, if they even do. With a credit card, it's a different story. If a suspicious charge appears on your statement, you can dispute it before paying, and fraud won't immediately affect your money. If debit cards have so many limitations, does that mean credit is the best option? Well, that depends on how you use it. Credit can be a powerful ally, but only if used wisely. The first key advantage is building a credit history. Having a good credit score increases your chances of getting loans, better financing options, and even renting a place with favourable terms. If you don't use credit strategically, you won't build that history, making your financial life harder in the future. The second advantage is benefits and rewards. Many credit cards offer cashback, travel miles, or discounts. If used correctly, you can gain valuable perks just by making purchases with credits. The third advantage is security and protection. As mentioned earlier, a suspicious charge on a credit card can be easily disputed, while with a debit card, the money is already gone from your account. Lastly, contrary to popular belief, a credit card can actually help you better organise your spending because all your transactions are recorded in one place, making financial tracking easier. Now that you know the advantages of credit, it's time to learn how to use it wisely, because credit will only help you if you know how to control it. The first golden rule is simple. Never spend more than you can pay in full by the due date. If you spend more than you can afford to pay off, your balance will accumulate high interest, turning your credit card into an enemy. The second rule is to use credit for essential and planned purchases. Credit should be a tool to facilitate your financial management, not an excuse for impulsive spending. The third key point is to take advantage of benefits like cashback, travel miles, and discounts. If you're already going to spend money, why not get some perks from it? But remember, these benefits are only worthwhile if you pay your bill in full. The fourth crucial factor is keeping your credit limit below 30% of your monthly income. If your limit is too high and you spend without planning, you may unknowingly compromise your budget. And finally, avoid long-term installments and excessive interest. Sometimes installment plans seem like a good deal, but if you add up the interest, you might end up paying way more than the actual value of the product. Have you ever thought about how consumer psychology influences your finances? Sometimes it's not just about what you buy, but how you feel about your purchases. Credit cards, for example, have a profound psychological effect. because they create the illusion that you're not spending real money. This can lead to impulsive decisions, unnecessary purchases, and debt that you only notice when the bill arrives. Studies show that when we use credit cards, our brains process spending differently, making it feel less painful than using cash. That's why it's so easy to go over budget. A classic example is when you go to the mall just to look around and end up going home with a handful of shopping bags. You didn't even plan to buy anything, but since the payment was on credit, the decision felt easier and less significant at that moment. Now, let's talk about something that can completely change your relationship with credit: financial planning. The secret to using credit without falling into traps is planning. This is where having a clear understanding of your finances comes in. By planning, you know exactly how much you can spend, how much you can afford to pay off at the end of the month, and how to keep debt under control. Creating a detailed budget and tracking your expenses are crucial steps to avoiding unpleasant surprises. Imagine setting aside a fixed amount for credit card expenses and monitoring everything closely. That way, you'll never be caught off guard by a bill higher than expected. Planning is the key to turning credit into an ally rather than an enemy. Now, let's talk about control. There's no point in having good financial planning if you're not keeping track of your credit card bill. Technology is your best friend when it comes to financial control. Using financial tracking apps or your bank's app can help you stay on top of your spending and avoid end-of-the-month surprises. Keep track of your expenses daily and never wait until the last minute to review your bill. That way, you can catch errors or unnecessary expenses before they become a problem. Small habits, like enabling notifications for every transaction, can make a huge difference in your financial control. Now that you know the advantages and disadvantages of debit and credit cards and have learned how to use credit strategically and responsibly, it's time to take action. The first step is to start reviewing how you use credits. If you apply these tips in your daily life, you'll see results in no time. If your money used to disappear without explanation, now you'll have complete control over your finances. And remember, credit is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs to be used correctly. If you enjoyed this content, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more financial tips. Together, we can achieve financial security.